Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another meal prep video. This first recipe is one I saw on TikTok. It's for like a protein Jello dessert, really low calorie, low sugar, high protein. Now, I followed a TikTok video on this, and that's the bad thing about following TikTok videos. Sometimes they don't show everything. So this was partially a fail and partially a success. So I'm going to show you first how I did it that made it fail. That way, if you try this, you know this was the way it fails. So I'm using some of this Simply Delish raspberry Jello dessert. And on the TikTok video, it made it seem like you made your Jello per usual. So you do the hot water, the cold water, everything it says that you're supposed to do. So all Jellos are a little bit different. These Simply Delish ones, I believe it's like 1 1/3 cup hot water, boiling water, and like 2/3 cup cold water. I can't remember the exact ratio, but basically the TikTok video made it seem like you just go per usual and make this part of the Jello per usual. Then we're going to add in some protein powder. So on her video, she used a vanilla protein powder. I don't think it matters. I'm using the Alani fruity cereal. I thought it went good with the Jello, aspect and the fruity aspect. So I'm just doing a full scoop of that. And I tried mixing it up, but it didn't quite mix up very well. So I went ahead and used my little frother thing you'll see. Just because I think it's because it had the cold water in it too. It just was not mixing up very well. So I went ahead and just added in, used my little frother thing to make this go. Now here is where we're going to jump into the fail part. I went ahead and just grabbed the yogurt and added it right to the mixture. So I have my 2 yogurts here. And this is the bad part. So I noticed when I was mixing this in there that it was separating, and I think it's because it was hot. So let me show you what I ended up doing. I ended up just using this cherry Jello to start all over again, and I added in the black cherry yogurts. And what I did was I made the Jello with only the hot water. Did not add the cold water at all, only the hot water. So I did 2 cups of hot water per the package, and I let that sit on my counter for about 2 hours while I did other things around the house. Then I added the yogurt in. And as you can see, it's not separating at all. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to come back in about an hour. That's what it said, and we'll see if it's set up, and we'll give this a try. Okay, guys, so this worked. This definitely turned out a lot better. You can see here it's all congealed. I have some sugar-free whipped topping on top, and let me give it a little taste. The next recipe is going to be a pancake. So I was watching my friend Barrett over at Barrett Pastor, and she was making these delicious looking pancakes. And then I went and watched one of my other favorite YouTubers, and that's Danny Spees over at Clean and Delicious. And she also had a pancake. So I thought, you know what? Pancakes, they're calling to me. They're calling to me. So let's go ahead and make some pancakes. On the Clean and Delicious video, she pre-made hers and then mix them up, and I thought, I love that, because sometimes I just don't have time to make it. I don't want to waste the pancakes by making them. So if I make the mix ahead of time, it can just sit there and I can use it week to week if I don't use it all. So I'm actually using the Clean and Delicious recipe. So she just said to use 1/3 cup of whatever kind of pancake mix. So I'm using this keto carb-friendly pancake mix. So I'm using 1/3 cup of that, which actually came out to 40 grams. So I just started weighing it. I wanted to see what 1/3 cup was. And then we're going to do about 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we're going to do 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. And that's what the recipe said. For some reason I was thinking it should be baking powder, right? But nope, it was baking soda. So I did 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to use some psyllium husk. Now she used fiber powder, but psyllium husk is pretty much the same thing. So this is going to add a little bit extra fiber in there. So you want to do about 3 grams of the fiber, which is about 2 teaspoons. And then we're going to add some protein powder. So I'm using this blueberry muffin, which is not, I don't like this on its own, but I did like it in this recipe, by the way. So I did not like it in a protein shake, and I also did not like it making protein loaves. but I thought, okay, this isn't going to be the main ingredient of this recipe. So I thought maybe it'll work out good, and it did, just to let you know. And I'm using basically half a scoop. So a scoop of this particular one is 28 grams, and I'm using 13 grams. So it's basically a half of a scoop of protein powder, and then I'm just going to mix that up, which I ended up just putting the lids on all of these and just shaking them up. So we're going to go ahead and make 2 more of these, so I have 3 total. And then to make these, all you have to do is add in some egg whites and then cook them up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and show you. I had one for breakfast this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how those turned out. So you see my 3 mixes here. You'll just add in 1/3 cup of egg whites and then cook up your pancake. So let me go ahead and show you how I served my pancake, and it was amazing. I can tell you that right now. These turned out so, so good. So this is technically the next morning. I'm just going to do the entire container of the pancake mix, and I just made 1 big pancake. You can make a couple little pancakes if you want, and then 1/3 cup of egg whites, and just stir that up, and that's it, you guys. This is so easy to make, and really good ingredients, high fiber, high protein. It's so good and so, so filling. And then you just cook it up like a regular pancake. Now, I personally am going to add in, I don't want syrup on mine. I like to have sugar-free preserves and also a little bit of butter. So I did 1 tablespoon of, I can't believe it's not butter light, and I did 1 tablespoon of sugar-free strawberry preserves, and then I added on a half of a banana. And here's my pancake. And I'll tell you guys, this kept me full. I ate this about 9:15. It kept me full until about 1 o'clock. And it was so good. So highly recommend this recipe. It will be linked down below. Next up, we're going to make some taco meat. I'm going to do taco salads for dinner a couple days, or maybe for lunch and 1 for dinner. So I'm using this 93% lean ground turkey and some black beans. I was going to put lentils in this, but I ran out of time and did not have time to make lentils. That's why I like to buy the canned lentils. But the black beans would be good. It'll add some extra fiber, some extra protein. Just cooked it up, add my own taco seasoning in there. And then I will show you my taco salad that I had for dinner, that I'm going to have for dinner tonight. So I'm going to actually put that clip in here so you can see it in use for this ingredient prep. I'm also going to prep some cold brew coffee. So I've been spending an insane amount of money on cold brew coffee. So I bought this new cold brew maker on Amazon. I will link it. And I'm going to use this Bones Coffee. You guys know I love Bones Coffee Company. This is the Dragon's Lair, which is an amazing coffee, y'all. I love this coffee. So I will have links to Bones Coffee and this cold brew maker. I'm using a funnel because y'all know how messy I am. We know this. We know this. We know I'm messy. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put in the coffee until it's full. Now, one thing I have seen online when people are making their coffee using this similar of a cold brew maker is that they kind of take a knife and kind of just move the grounds around just to kind of make sure that it's not like too packy. Now, I have used cold brew makers in the past, and none of them are strong enough. Like, the coffee is just so weak. And I will tell you that right when I was actually making this, when I was adding the water to it, I could tell already this was going to be much better because it already became darker just when I put the water in there. And I've used like the espresso blend coffee, the dark roast coffee on the other cold brew makers, and none of them worked as well as this one. This has a completely different filter. I feel like that makes a difference. The filter is super finely meshed, and the other ones are like a see-through filter, and I just feel like, I don't know, this one just turned out way better. So you can see here I added the water in, and then I've always left my cold brew on the counter for at least 12 hours. The instructions say to do it in the refrigerator, but I always just leave it on the counter. And then I'll show you, we're going to fast forward movie magic here, and we're going to show you what it looks like the next day. So it's the next morning, and I went ahead and also just topped this off with a little bit of water, because once you take the filter out, it lowers it down a little bit. So I added some water. This is what I put in my coffee, but you can see just how dark that is. It turned out so good, you guys. This is my usual coffee every morning. You can see it turned out exactly the same as it does when I use the store-bought cold brew. I'll tell you guys, this was really, really good. Highly, highly recommend it. This is actually another TikTok recipe. So this is for a chicken salad. I have my usual Kirkland canned chicken breast. We have some red onion, some green onion, some cilantro. I have never made chicken salad with cilantro, some limes. I'm using some light mayo, garlic powder, onion, salt, and then pepper, and then also some a non-fat Greek yogurt. I like to mix the non-fat Greek yogurt and the light mayo. I use more yogurt than mayo. So here you can see I'm just going to use 1 tablespoon of the light mayo. I just feel like it adds just a little bit of creaminess. And I'll tell you, I tried light Miracle Whip about a month ago, and it was disgusting and nasty, and I threw it away. I could not even eat it. It was so bad, you guys. I do not like it. And then I thought I was using a 1/4 cup. For some reason, I thought this was a 1/4 cup, but y'all, I just cannot see without my glasses. So it was actually a 1/3 cup. So it was a little bit more than what I normally use, but that's okay. It still turned out okay. We're going to give that a good stir before we add in the rest of the stuff. Now I'm just going to add in a healthy helping of cilantro. Y'all know I love cilantro. Some people do not. My husband's one of those ones that thinks it tastes like dish soap, which is funny because he didn't even know that was a thing until he said it one day. And I'm like, did you know that that's a thing? I've heard it's like a genetic thing. It is so weird. Anyway, I love cilantro. And then we're going to add in some green onion. If you don't like cilantro, you probably will not like this recipe, obviously. We're going to do a really good amount of red onion because y'all know how much I love me some red onion as well. I'm going to stir that up. Now, I was going to add some of the dill pickle mustard that I got from Trader Joe's, but I did not think that mustard and cilantro really went together. So I did not. And normally I do put mustard in my chicken salad, but I wanted to keep this purely how I saw it on the recipe video. So doing garlic powder, and actually I don't think she showed any spices, but I'm doing pepper, garlic powder, and then my favorite onion salt from Trader Joe's. Y'all know I love this stuff. I picked up 3 bottles because I only make it at Trader Joe's maybe twice a year. I need to go more often and just make the drive. And then we're going to take some limes, and I can never get all the juice out of limes. My hands are not very strong. I feel like I probably have a little bit of arthritis in my hands, so it's really hard to squeeze things like that. But I did roll the limes really well because I read that if you roll them, it kind of makes that juice break up. That's what I did, and then I cut them in half and squeezed it out, and I did the whole lime, and I thought, oh, is this going to be too much? But it was perfection. This was one of my favorite chicken salads that I have ever made. It was so good. So I'm going to pair these with the Crunchmaster multigrain crackers, which I've never tried before, but I can tell you I've tried them now, and they are really good. So I will have everything here on the screen, but I'm also going to show you how I serve this with my lettuce wrap sandwich. So I had this kind of as a side dish to my lunch today. So here is my plate from lunch today. I have my lettuce wrap sandwich. We have some crackers and then the chicken salad. So that is everything, you guys. So that is my meal prep for today. Thank you guys so much, as always, for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. I truly, truly appreciate it so, so much. I will have every recipe linked down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.